orange and blue are shooting for a Rocky Mountain High in Denver. We get you set for the Oilers and the Avalanche right here on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Good evening, everybody. Hope you're staying warm. Hope you're full of energy.
Yeah.
Wake up, big boy. Wake up.
Energy.
He's had a long day. Tom Gazzola, Sean Bell, live on location at Boston Pizza Westgate on a windy, squall-filled night. Squall-ish? Squall-like night?
Squall-like night?
Yeah, it's a bit of a tongue twister. Hernan Salas, the Latino Heat back at EST HQ. Yes, indeed, the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Oilers and Avs should be a great showdown tonight down at Ball Arena. Of course, GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. Text us 780-218-9999. Get in the nasty chat. If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button and like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you're listening on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, EdmontonSportsTalk.com's audio player, we appreciate you. Drive safely out there. Shout out to the Combine crew over to my right. Yeah, all right. They're ready to go.
A couple clicks.
Round of clicks. Lieutenant Eric is here. He walked here. All right. And hopefully a few more people come on down. A great night to not go too far. That squall, man. Josh Clausen, boom, boom, and the wrench, says Box Pounder. Should be the name of this show. But where's the Latino Heat? Sprinkle some of that in. Let's get the Latino Heat on here. Nancito, how you doing? You're back at EST HQ. You're going to be able to make it down here? You're only 5 minutes away.
Yeah, boys. Oop, hold on. I got to do something.
I see you. I hear you.
No, boys. I went to get gas and some food right after the show, and that wind, holy smokes, boys. That was fierce.
What did you get, Hernan?
What's that?
What kind of food did you get?
So check this out. I got number 16.
Yeah, you did. Yes.
And I ate it there because I just, you want to be comfortable, and it was fantastic. It's the first time I've had that one, boys. So can't lie, man. It was pretty damn good.
It's tasty, isn't it?
Oh, boy.
It's filling. So when you come here, you're only having beer, is what you're saying?
Well, that was at 3:00, Tommy.
Oh, so your tummy's growling for more.
Yeah, and it was just a soup, right? You keep in mind when I get there, it's gonna be 4 hours and a half since I ate, right? So. Oh,
good point. You're a hungry boy. It is Pasta Tuesday all month long at Boston Pizza. We are at Boston Pizza Westgate. They do have the over my shoulder. You can see it there. It is the Coors Light Golf Simulator. They also have other games on there, Belzy. You could play a football game on there, and there's some other stuff. It's really cool. $20 an hour is the price, and I don't think you could beat that price anywhere else where they do golf sims. So it's usually pretty busy, not always packed to the point where you can't get in there, but we've seen a lot of people enjoying the Coors Light Golf Simulator here at BP Westgate. Also, Tony and the crew want me to remind everyone that they are having their Super Bowl party here. They have a tailgate happening from 2:30 to 4:30, I should say. That gets you for $10 a classic burger, a sleeve of Bud, and then proceeds from the tailgate party here at Boston Pizza Westgate going to the Ben Stelter Fund. Grand prize giveaways, multiple grand prize giveaways, a ton of prizes. We have a lot of prizes to give away tonight.
There's lots. What a haul.
Heritage Classic toques from last year, which are, people snap that stuff up so quickly, and they're hard to find new items from last year's Heritage Classic. So a couple of toques.
On a squally like this, you might need it.
On a squally night. They also have, there's a Soul backpack. There is another Bluetooth speaker, and then a bunch of hats and T-shirts. Also a ladies fleece golf vest, and then a Travis Matthew ladies pullover golf shirt, I believe. So a lot of great stuff.
Any jerseys in that
GCs.
bad boy?
I don't see any jerseys, but at the tailgate party for the Super Bowl, they will have a bunch of football jerseys to give away. We've got GCs, and we've got some, those charging packs that you attach to your phone?
Yes.
We've got a couple of those that we're going to be giving away tonight. So come on down, Boston Pizza Westgate. Drive safely, of course. All right, Oilers and Avalanche. We're going to get into starting lineups right away here. We're also going to hear from Meghan Angley from Guerrilla Sports. We've heard and seen from her before on this show. She's always great, and she'll give us on those Colorado Avalanche, really strong team. I was listening to Reed and Jay on my way over here through the Squally.
Yep.
And some of the texts, I'm not surprised, but the one that stood out to me, and I can't remember who texted in, but it was like, I can't believe Colorado went and traded both of their goalies, upgraded their goalies, and the Oilers haven't done anything. And I was like, whoa. Calvin Pickard stood on his head, your old roommate.
Yeah, my old roomie.
He had a great game last night. Sloppy defensive game for the Oilers in mini. They win 5-3. Stu Skinner was sensational here on Monday. That Kempe save was unbelievable. Shutout. 1-0 win. And there's still people, Belzy, that are just like, nope, not good enough.
I just don't. I don't get it.
I used to get caught up in it, but this is my 17th year covering the damn team. 17 years when we were just little kids coming in. Now I'm just like, okay,
just a young.
If that's how you feel, that's fine. I'll read it. I'll listen. I'll give you my thoughts. But I was very taken aback when I heard that on the Reed Wilkins show on my way into BP Westgate. What would you say to that?
Well, the problem is that anytime Skinner plays bad, it's on him.
Even when he plays good, it's on him.
It's on him.
Yeah.
So they're not happy with the goaltending because I think the idea is that you have to have a top 5 goaltender to be successful.
There's 5 of those.
There's only 5 of them in the league, so we don't have one of them, but he's in that next echelon.
Right.
And so he's a really good goaltender, and you've got a good backup goaltender as well.
How about that?
Colorado, unfortunately, I think they were bleeding chances and they were giving up a lot of goals. And so they made a trade because they wanted to improve their situation, and now they've improved their situation.
Right.
You can't sit here and say both of their goaltenders are in the top 5. No, they got to another echelon, and they're in a good spot now, and that's why they're starting to roll. So I don't know. It's frustrating to me, but
it's funny. I enjoy it. I get a kick out of it. If you're going, who did the Colorado Avalanche go out and pick up? Mackenzie Blackwood from San Jose, Scott Wedgwood, I think, out of Nashville, and that was for Justus Annunen. And then Georgiev wasn't working out for the Avs. I don't think they liked him. I get the sense. Maybe we'll ask Megan. She's almost ready to go. Nat, so any thoughts on tonight's game before we bring Megan in? I want to get to starting lineups as well really quickly, too.
Yeah, I won't ruin the news that you're going to share with all our listeners, so I'll leave that to you. But yeah, it should be a good game. We had a Denver reporter on as well, Evan Rawal. And it's great. Like the duos you're going to see, McDavid, Draisaitl against Rantanen and McKinnon, and then you got the great Cale Makar. It's going to be a fun game, guys. The Oilers coming off not their best effort, but still a win last night. So I'm intrigued to see how they fare tonight against a really, really good Colorado Avalanche team, a team they already beat in Colorado in November on a nice Saturday or early December 4-1. So I'm intrigued. And like you said, Tom, there's some lineup news, and I'll let you get to that here.
All right, appreciate that, Nan. So let's get to starting lineups brought to you by South Fort Chev. Reserve your 2025 Equinox tracks and Traverse now. They won't last long. They've also got the best discounts on 2025 Silverados, and they won't be beat. See dealer for details, www.southfortchev.com. For the Oilers, and it was Tony Brar who put this out there a little bit earlier in the night because it is a back-to-back situation for the Oilers. We're going to have Jeff Skinner back in action. He's in for Kasperi Kapanen. Troy Stetcher in for Josh Brown. Of course, Stuart Skinner will start in goal. So if we're looking at the lineups, it's probably Nugent Hopkins and Hyman flanking McDavid. Draisaitl with Podkolzin and Arvidsson. Henrik Janmark Brown likely stays together. And then it's as simple as Perry flipping over to the right side. Skinner on the left side. Noah Felp down the middle. It'll be his 5th NHL game for the big centerman coming up from Bakersfield this week. On defense, Ekholm with Bouchard, Nurse with Emerson, and then you've got Kulak with Stetcher. No Derek Ryan, no Josh Brown for the Oil. At the other end of the rink for the Avs, this is what we're anticipating. Nathan MacKinnon between Arturi Lehkonen and Jonathan Drouin. Mikko Rantanen between Joel Kiviranta and Logan O'Connor. Parker Kelly with Ross Colton and Juuso Parssinen. Casey Middlestat, 4th line?
Really?
What's going on? Yuri Inala and Jason Paulin on that line. Devon Taves with Cale Makar, Samuel Girard with Josh Manson, Calvin DeHaan with Calvin Middleton. Like I mentioned, between the pipes, 26-year-old Stu Skinner for the Oilers had the night off yesterday, 17-9-3 on the season, 268 goals against average, 902 save percentage, 2 shutouts in 29 games this year. Skinner versus the Avs, 3-1-2 record lifetime, 256 goals against average, 929 save percentage in 6 appearances versus Colorado. And at the other end of the rink, 28-year-old Mackenzie Blackwood, 15-11-4 with the 249 goals against average, 920 save percentage, 1 shutout, 31 games this season. Blackwood versus the Oilers, pretty good, actually. 2-0-1 record, 333 GAA, 898 save percentage in the 4 appearances he's had versus Edmonton. All right, let's go to Denver. Let's welcome in Meghan Angley, Guerrilla Sports, covering the Avalanche. We've had her on before. Great to have her back. Meghan, we're dealing with a snow squall here in Edmonton. It was a lovely day until it hit. It's like 90-kilometer-per-hour winds. I think in miles, that's like 60-ish, 50-something, yep. And a lot of snow. I'm sure you guys get that too, but we're ready for a big game today. How is it in Denver, by the way?
Well, we're anticipating a cold front coming in tomorrow, but especially hitting by Saturday. So it should get below 0 Fahrenheit in a couple days here. So I'm enjoying the 40-degree weather for as long as we have it.
Look at that. You forget sports. Go into weather. I'm just kidding. That was very good. That was very good. All right, Meghan. We're joking about some Oilers fans complaining about the goaltending here in Edmonton, despite pretty good performances of late from both Stu Skinner and Calvin Pickard. How have Mackenzie Blackwood and Scott Wedgwood been for the Colorado Avalanche? Has it been a turning point for the team with those two between the pipes?
It's been a complete difference maker for their season. They were stringing together wins here and there in the Georgiev-Oudinen era, but there was a little bit of a morale issue in they would win some games, but then they would drop some games, and they were struggling to just stack together wins consistently, and they just weren't getting the saves that they needed early in games, multi-goal games, and so it led to a lot of pressure on the team playing in front of that goaltending tandem to come up with goal support, which is necessary of any hockey team. But since Blackwood and Wedgwood have come in, Blackwood in particular have stolen some games for the Avs that they didn't necessarily deserve to win because of how dominant they've been in net. And it's been a complete difference maker to have a goaltender allowing 2 or fewer goals on a nightly basis, no matter what the team's performance is, because the reality is the Avs still aren't fully healthy, but it has completely changed the tone in the room. Practices are a lot lighter. Guys are laughing and joking with each other. And Wedgwood and Blackwood are 2 vocal goalies who've really added to the levity in the room.
LZ.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point. It definitely starts to settle things down when you have that support in the back. You mentioned that the Avs have been dealing with a lot of injuries. As they start to get healthy, what are some of the areas that the Avs will need at the trade deadline to kind of get them over the hump?
I think they're going to be looking to round out their depth, and a lot of that's going to depend on what the fate of the forwards is. As we talk about returning to health, is a Landeskog ruled in or out of that conversation at that point? Because that greatly shapes the depth picture for the forward group in particular. The other area that I think that they're looking to address is the third pair. They've had a lot of options on D to rotate in there, but I don't think they've found a pairing that they feel total trust and responsibility in, which is interesting because they've had a lot of good options there, but I think they're looking to get great, kind of similar to what they did with Sean Walker at the last deadline, utilizing him in kind of a second, third pair role. I think that's what they would want to find, especially with players like Manson who've been dealing with return from injury and this return to play plan that has required maybe missing some practices, taking some optionals. That just points to wanting to make sure you have some insurance on that back end with trusted options that can play up in a second pair role if needed.
Meghan, you mentioned Gabriel Landeskog. Where is he? Is he well? Does he skate? Like what? He's like a ninja.
He is a ninja.
I feel like every time the Oilers play the Avs, like Landeskog. What's the latest?
It's been really optimistic around Denver lately with Landeskog. He's been consecutively skating in morning skates when they're here at Ball Arena. And the word around what the time away from public view has been good, that he has made the most progress in his return to play plan than we've ever seen before. And you can see it when you do get a glimpse at morning skate. There's so much more power and strength behind what he's doing, and it looks so much more natural to him. He's having fun out there too, and so I like to see that he doesn't seem to be practicing with too much caution, participating in the full length of drills, at least in the morning skate capacity. So he hasn't resumed practicing with the team. I don't want to get ahead of myself in how I talk about it, but there has been a lot of positivity around Landeskog lately.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. Has there been a timeline even remotely mentioned, or this is just, hey, get on the ice as much as you can, see how you feel, and just kind of go from there?
Bellsy's about to tweet whatever you say out next.
Yeah, I'm just like,
there has been ready to go. No timeline. That has been the consistent feedback we get from coaching staff around Landeskog is there's no firm timeline. So until we start seeing him at practices, I don't think we're even close to discussing one.
Okay, fair enough. Fine. Make something up and attribute it to me. Just kidding. Meghan Angley joining us from Guerrilla Sports.
He's back in a week.
As we get you set for the Oilers and the Avs, second of 3 meetings this season between these two clubs. Val Nichushkin, I know he had to go through the player assistance program again. Is it a positive thing with him? I know he's banged up and everything. He's hurt, but what's it been like for Val Nichushkin, who is an important part of this team and can contribute? He's a good veteran player. Is it mostly positive signs coming from him?
I think his absence, or I guess his impact, is mostly felt in his absence in looking at how the Avs power play has been trending in the wrong direction. And he's not the sole reason that it has struggled and has gotten a little bit off track, but he does add something so valuable to that top unit. And then similarly, the whole complexion of the top six, in having a player like Casey Middlestat, who has also struggled lately, not having Val Nichushkin as an option there has really emphasized some vulnerabilities that exist there right now, but it is something that you're expecting to get better when he returns. His timeline has been a little bit delayed from what we were initially told. It was 7 to 10 days, and we're at about day 17. But it still feels like something he's going to return from. He's just always proceeded with caution when it comes to returning from injury, and he has a pretty good feel for how his body's feeling, because when he does come back, he usually ramps up to game speed very quickly. So I'm trusting that he's just taking this very cautiously right now.
The Avs are 7-2-1 in the last 10, and we've been outlining the injuries and the absence of like impact players like Megan's been talking about. How are they piecing together these wins? Because it can't be easy when you're missing core players like that.
Mackenzie Blackwood is a really key part in all of this. They have been getting some goal scoring from players like MacKinnon and Rantanen, and that depth that I talked about maybe being an area they target at the deadline has stepped up a little bit, but they're still operating without a really complete fourth line at the moment. So their third line is ideally going to be a fourth line one day. They've been getting some contributions from them, but it's really been top heavy. Devon Toews, someone we talked about last Edmonton game, was a player who was not at full health and playing through some things. He has really turned his game on in this back half of the season and has looked more like himself. So getting Devon Toews just looking like himself again, I think has been a huge piece in that too.
Nice.
Yeah. Obviously we're looking at the injury list and just seeing the guys that are coming back, and there's definitely got to be some optimism to that. Looking ahead to tonight's game, you've got a team with the Avs that are playing really well, right? Blackwood, like you mentioned, has been playing lights out. The Oilers have been playing really good. Like, what are your thoughts on tonight's game? What do the Avs got to do to get the win?
I look back at how things went the last Edmonton game, and it should serve as a cautionary tale to the Avalanche. Even an Edmonton team on the second leg of a back-to-back poses a huge threat, because the things that Edmonton does well are some things that they did quite poorly against New York just recently on Monday, and it was a gut check for this Avalanche team. They allowed so many chances off the rush, and Edmonton will make you pay in transition. And so I think for Colorado, the key is to try to eliminate as many mistakes as possible and simplify their game. Even though they might be getting a slightly fatigued version of Edmonton, I think the firepower on top is too dangerous to take lightly. And I think lately, the story of any Avs losses have been playing down to their competition a little bit. Maybe underestimating their competition. And Devon Toews actually used the word overestimating themselves. And I think that's a huge takeaway from that New York game that they're looking to course correct tonight.
I'll add one little sprinkle to that. 4 of the top 5 scorers in the league playing in this game. Are we just simply taking the over on this one? How do you look at it?
With Mackenzie Blackwood, I wouldn't take the over. Okay. I feel really confident. Yeah, I think he gets up for these games in particular, too.
All right, we'll see. Megan's going with the under. I'm like, bring on the fireworks. I want to see goals galore. So,
well, what's the number that we'd have to start with?
It would have to be 6.5.
6.5?
Yeah.
We got the under?
Megan's going with the under. I'd take the over.
Okay.
I'm a cautious person.
We will circle back. Megan, this was great. As always, we appreciate your time. Great insight and analysis. Enjoy the game tonight, and we'll do this again soon.
Thanks, guys.
There you go. There's Meghan Angley from Guerrilla Sports in Denver, covering the Avalanche. Fantastic stuff. Follow her on social media, and just very good, right? And a newer broadcaster in the NHL, and an excellent, very thorough. And I think she was at a Colorado Eagles game, so it's not just Avs. She's following up on the farm team. We had Ryan Holt on the oil stream yesterday. So, but anyway, she's great.
Yeah. No, it was good. It was good. Some pretty good insight.
Do you have any allegiance to the Avalanche? Because you finished up your NHL playing days with the Avs.
I've got a slight allegiance to them. They're in my top 4 favorite teams.
You played for 4 teams.
Exactly.
Oh, boy. Text us, 780-218-9999 as we roll along here on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show live on location at Boston Pizza Westgate. Come on down. Join the Combine crew. Lieutenant Eric's here. Tony, come see Tony. We've got a lot of great prizes to give away tonight. I know that squall is happening, and hopefully you're driving safe if you're listening to us on the road. And then if you're cozy and warm at home, we're happy to be a part of your evening. Okay, so we heard from Meghan Angley from Guerrilla Sports, giving us the scoop on the Avalanche. That's good that Gabriel Landeskog, 2.5 years now with the knees, and he had that back cut too as well.
I'm so curious if he does end up coming back. What is he going to be like? Where is he going to be at?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Because it's going to be a long road back. Like you look at Connor Brown and obviously the injury that he had and how long it took him to kind of get back up to speed. He was only out for a year.
I know. I'm trying to think of guys that sat out multiple years. Mario Lemieux is Mario Lemieux, and he retired, came back 3 years later, and he's 0.01% of the hockey population. He's the epitome and at the tippy top. So for him to come back the way he did in 2000, I think it was, after sitting out 3 seasons, I think he takes a special player, special person. He's one of them. I think Gary Roberts retired briefly and then came back. He had back issues when he was with the Flames. Rem Murray came back. Remember that?
Yeah.
And
that was a long one.
That was he had these really bad neck issues. I'm not too sure, but Landeskog hasn't retired or anything. He's just been injured.
He's been out for a long time, and it's
2.5 years it's coming up on. So I'm not sure what I think an emotional lift in the room probably, but if he's around there, that probably helps as well, which he has been. Megan says he's taking part in morning skates, which is great. So interesting. I don't know what his impact would be. You got the Gary Roberts stats?
Gary Roberts was out multiple times, actually. 96, 97, he didn't play. Came back, went to Carolina, and then in 04, 05, obviously didn't play, and then came back with Florida.
Okay. Well, 04, 05, a lot of guys went over to Europe, right?
Yeah.
And he just chose to rest his body. Yeah, he took a lot of punishment in front of the net.
100% he did. Look at these Pims.
He's a tough guy, man.
250, 222, 252, 207. Yikes.
Yeah, that's a lot. All right. We did talk about some injuries. Let's get to the Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy injury report. I mean, if you're Gary Roberts, you'd be going to Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy 100%. A lot. At Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy, we treat you like the pros. Our multidisciplinary team includes sports medicine physicians, along with highly skilled physiotherapists, strength and conditioning coaches, and massage therapists. Whether you're recovering from an injury or looking to enhance performance, we treat you like a pro using the same locker room approach trusted by the best in the game. For the Oilers, Alec Regula, IR knee, Evander Kane, IR abdominal surgery, and then last week you heard knee surgery for Kane. Or was it earlier this week? Earlier this week, man. It's flying by. For the Avs, a bit of a lengthier list. Valerie Nichushkin, day-to-day lower body. Miles Wood, IR upper body. Oliver Shillington, IR upper body. You played defense.
I did.
You paired up with Oliver Shillington.
Sweden.
Are you surprised? I mean, he missed time too. Had to take care of some personal matters, but what's like Shillington? Where could he get to? Because he's not a young defenseman anymore. He's certainly not a prospect.
I think he'd be he's a serviceable 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
So I think if you can get him back in the lineup and you look at, just the lineup that they currently have, I think there's a spot for him there.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's a 5 or 6, I mean, you can obviously argue that. I don't think he's going to break into your top 4 and replace a Girard or a Manson.
Right.
But for him to be in your top 5, I think that's a really good spot.
So he'd be probably paired up with like a Dahan.
Yeah. Yep.
I think Dahan's left-handed as well. I know Shillington is too.
He can play the offside.
Okay, so he'd end up on the right side, third pair. All right, so Shillington, IR, upper body. Gabriel Landeskog, like you heard Megan talking about, IR knee. Tucker Poolman, IR head. He's been out all season long. Let's bring in Hernan Salas. Oh, Nancito, you doing good? What'd you take away from what Megan had to say there?
Yeah, I mean, their goaltending's interesting, right? They cleaned house. They sent their 2 starting goalies from who started the season packing. They brought in the Woods, Mackenzie Blackwood and Scott Wedgwood. Mm-hmm. And it seems like, they're giving him way better goaltending. You heard Megan say Blackwood's been outstanding. He has good numbers, even though a small sample size against the Oilers. So it's going to be interesting. I also find it interesting that Rantanen will start on his own line as well. And right. I think that bodes well for the Oilers because then the Oilers are going to start with the 2 big guys on the separate lines and go toe-to-toe. Go MacKinnon versus McDavid. Draisaitl versus Rantanen, and let's go and let's see what happens. And it's crazy, though, because if you guys look at it, like, they go nuclear option too often with Rantanen and then McKinnon. And then their Hyman is Arturi Lehkonen, who's been fantastic for them. He has 16 goals on the season. Our guest today from Denver said that the coach said, I guess the coach there in Denver is like, if I could have 12 Arturi Lehkonens, I'd be very happy because I guess he does everything right on the ice. Good in his own end. He's good offensively. Just overall great teammate. So I love this matchup, guys. The only difference is, and no disrespect to any of the Oilers defensemen, but I think everybody would agree, the Oilers don't have Cale Makar. Like that's the difference. That's the big difference is that you can, I think forward-wise, goaltending-wise, it's pretty even. But on the back end, when you have a guy like Cale Makar, who's the best defenseman for many in the league, the Oilers are not there. Don't have that guy.
I want to ask you, how do you compare Makar to Bouchard? Because he's offensive.
That's like a bit of a grenade that you just...
I did. I pulled the pin and I just launched
jump on that grenade?
Yep.
Plead the fifth, man. Just say I'm out. Yeah.
I do not want this nasty chat to get going after me. But I would say that Makar is he's a pinnacle right now.
Yeah, that's good.
Of the position in the
What are you worried about your answer? That was perfect.
I had to think about it while I was getting flamed.
You're a smart guy.
Catching shrapnel.
Oh, you're fine.
Yeah. No, I would, once again, I think Makar is arguably in the top 5 of his position.
Yep.
And Bouchard is not. And that's not saying that Bouchard's not a good defenseman. Makar is just Makar. And
he's a
franchise defenseman.
Tommy, it's not close for you, is it? No. Oh, okay.
No, it's not.
I was just wondering because you asked Belzy, so it's like, is this what are we getting at here? Like,
well, he played defense in the NHL. I think he has a good perspective.
I know, but like just where it's like, just a comparison of Bouchard to Makar. Like, I think for many, it's Makar is just way above right now. Where can Bouchard close the gap eventually? Sure, one day maybe, but he'll never be Cale Makar.
That's correct.
I think you just summed it up nice. I just wanted to launch one at Belzy, and he handled it just fine. He took it and he threw it into no man's land.
He's a pro, man.
Stuff out of here.
He's a pro.
Out of here.
I know. If you're wondering, just in terms of defensemen scoring in the NHL, Zach Werenski and Cale Makar do lead the league at 50 points. Makar, 13 goals, 37 assists. Werenski, 15 goals, 35 assists. Makar plus 13, Werenski plus 9. Then you got Quinn Hughes at 47 points. Josh Morrissey at 39. Shea Theodore, who's excellent, at 36. Lane Hudson, the rookie out of Montreal, having a great season. 3 goals, 32 assists. Really moves well. -4, but 35 points. Pretty good on a Montreal team that has shown some good life of late, which is unexpected but pleasant to see. And then you got Victor Hedman, 34 points, and then Evan Bouchard at 33 points, tied with Adam Fox, and 1 point up on Eric Carlson. Bouchard, 7 goals, 26 assists, plus 12 this season. The plus-minus and point totals better in the last, 2 months, obviously, but there are some spotty moments on the defensive side of the game for Bouchard, as we've discussed many times.
And still no power play goal, right?
No power play goal.
He doesn't have a power play goal?
That is correct.
That's absolutely insane.
Look, 0. I have it right here on my screen. Where is he? He's right. Bouchard, 0 power play goals.
That is actually insane.
Yeah. Ekholm has 3.
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
Yeah, well, he's a Viking. He is a Viking. All right, text us.
A grand total of 45 seconds on the power play and 3 goals.
He's got 3.
Because he just sifts them in from the point. They seeing eye shots. It's great.
He's got that cannon. He took that slapper against LA the other night, and that was in the zone that was in front of where we sit. And I was just like, oh my! It was one of those ones you don't even hear it come off the blade.
Yeah, he shoots it from bam, bam, just inside the top of the circles, and he goes glove hand right at the DL bar or the connector.
Yeah.
And he hits it.
Yeah.
It's a missile from there.
It is absolutely impressive. Great pickup, obviously, and good move by Kenny Holland to get him for Tyson Barrie, a first rounder, and Reed Schaefer. Text us 780-218-9999. We're about to get into game changers. If you're watching, hit that thumbs up button. Get into the nasty chat. We've got a good viewership going right now. I like to see that. Pre-game show doing good on a squall-filled...
Squally night.
Yeah, squally night Thursday. We're live on location, Boston Pizza Westgate. Lots of great giveaways tonight here at BP Westgate as we watch the game. Come on down if you can. Sean texting in, and he says, hey, guys, I just missed it. Is the Super Bowl party hosted by EST? I just drove by. I can't join tonight. Are you guys back there on Saturday? Sean, thank you for asking. So this is our last on location here at BP Westgate in January. Dusty and myself are at Boston Pizza Westmount tomorrow for the afternoon edition of the Oil Stream. And then on Saturday, you and I, among many others, will be live on location at the Oilers Alumni Bonspiel at the Shamrock Curling Club. Congratulations to Mike for winning the trivia and entered and got a team of 4 into the Oilers Alumni Bonspiel. Mike, well done, sir. And then the Super Bowl element and portion of this is we will be live on location. No, we're not live on location for Super Bowl. We're going to be hosting a Super Bowl party at Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. We had an absolutely awesome time there last year. It's going to be excellent once again. I saw Renee from Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge bought a ton of 6 o'clocker lager. Nice. And we're going to have a great time. But Tony here at BP Westgate says they're having a tailgate Super Bowl party, 2:30 to 4:30. $10 gets you a classic burger and a Bud beer, obviously. They're going to have a lot of grand prizes, a lot of smaller prizes, jersey giveaways, and proceeds from the tailgate party here at Boston Pizza Westgate for the Super Bowl will go to the Ben Stelter Fund. Yeah, I hope I cleared that up. Anything else?
No, that was great.
Okay, thank you. Are you coming to the Super Bowl party?
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay. Non-committal. Hernan, we're going to have a good time. You know that, right?
Yeah, it'll be fun. You know what's great, guys? It's because I'm a Niners fan, so they were in it last year, and I got invited, and I was like, when it's your team, you want to watch it at home, right? If you want to yell and scream and cry or whatever, punch a hole in the wall. Yeah, but I like it when it's a team, 2 teams that I really don't care who wins. And you just there.
Makes it easy.
Yeah, it makes it easier and a lot more fun. So, yeah, I'll be there for sure. It's going to be a good one. And Tommy, I'll keep you posted if we get some line combos here as you guys get into good old game changers.
Yeah, I feel like, we project, that's our projections with Skinner coming back in, and then you have Kapanen coming out. Noah Phillips stays at center on that fourth line. Probably Corey Perry goes over to the right side. What were we going to say?
I'm sorry, but do you like that move?
Getting Skinner in for Kapanen?
Yeah.
I do.
I'm almost indifferent towards it. Why do you like it, Hernan?
I just think
it doesn't bother me.
Like Jeff Skinner sit out 3 games. He was playing well. He had points in 3 out of his last 4 games. The best we've seen him since the start of the season when the Oilers were struggling, and he was probably one of the few guys that was going. So for me, I don't mind it. Like, if you're gonna have him here, you got to play the guy. I mean, he's a goal scorer. He's not having the season that I don't think anyone, including himself, thought he would have here in Edmonton. He's a bottom 6 guy now, so I like it. And Kapanen, I don't mind Kapanen. I don't think he deserved. Like, I don't think any of the Oilers from last night deserved to come out outside of one, but he's on the defense. But so I just think you got to get these guys in. You can't sit Skinner for a 4th game in a row, and especially because I don't think he was brought out of the lineup because he was playing poorly. I just think it was a numbers thing. Let's get Ryan in, and then they called up Noah Philp. So I kind of like it. And Tommy, the lines are out, and you're correct. It's just Skinner in for Kapanen, and the same spot, and everything else remains the same. Stetcher with Nurse
In for Brown.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Tommy, do you like the?
I thought that Kapanen was a player that was contributing to the lineup, like more than maybe some other guys. And I think I was a little bit surprised that Kapanen's coming out because he has a speed element to the game. In that bottom 6 that I think is vital. I knew you were going to take out. Well. Yeah, I knew you were going to pull out Phillip, but yeah, I guess I was a little surprised.
There really isn't anyone else that you're taking out for Jeff Skinner right now. That's
Perry.
I think he's playing good.
Yeah, you can't.
He's not, but based on this game and the way that Colorado plays,
and if I'm
speed related,
I understand that rationale, but if I'm not mistaken, it was Perry the last time that they had a back-to-back and they pulled him out, and I was kind of like, oh, okay. But I don't mind, like, especially if the intent is to keep Skinner involved. And Nancy, you said that he was putting together a couple of games with points, and I mean, listen, Minnesota is a bigger, gruffer team than Colorado Avalanche. So I think this suits Jeff Skinner's type of game a little bit better than the Minnesota Wild, because the Minnesota Wild, like, it got feisty. By the way, and we talked about the little chicken wing that McDavid threw out, no supplemental discipline. But Marcus Johansson has been put on IR.
That's really?
That's not good. Yeah.
That is not good at all.
That's the weakest chin in the league, boys. Holy smokes.
Well, he's had lots of concussions.
I know.
I'm not going to laugh at him. I was just like, ugh. Anyway.
Because everybody was kind of like, man, that was a dive.
He sold it and this and that.
But now he's on IR.
He is on IR.
Are you surprised he didn't get a fine, boys?
Little bit, honestly.
Not really. Because I don't think it was hard enough to, like, warrant that.
It was dirty, but I liked it.
Like, he definitely he was definitely trying to hit him. But was he trying to hit him, like, in the head? I guess.
Yes, 100%.
Are you sure? You don't think he was maybe just trying to get, like, a little bit of, like, here's a little bit of body position. Just I'm going to hit you.
Just
some
to kind of sweet give you chin music,
hey,
bro.
Buddy, heads up, I'm here. But man,
I think he was trying to create some space for himself, and he was frustrated.
It was hilarious.
The guy's in La La Land right now, and you think it's hilarious?
I thought at the time.
Okay. I'm just teasing you.
And I was like, man, you shouldn't have been standing there. But now I'm like, ooh, IR. Tough.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Nope. Well, what say you? 780-218-9999 as we get into Game Changers with Sean Bell. Game Changers brought to you by Damon Bunting Real Estate. Damon Bunting, consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 17 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. He's community-driven, and he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. So check him out, DamonBunting.com. Or visit his Instagram at Damon Bunting Real Estate. Damon Bunting now with the agency. Yes. All right. Number one tonight on Game Changers, Bellzy better defensively.
Yeah, we talked about this last night. They were sloppy in their own zone. They didn't really take away time and space. They got hemmed in multiple times by a team that I just didn't think had a lot of offensive punch. And now you're coming into a game against Colorado, who has a lot of offensive punch. And if you're not better defensively, it could be a long night.
Yeah,
when you get McCarr starting to go, and you start to get MacKinnon and Rantanen and some of these other guys, it can become, you can get put in the spin cycle pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, I want to see them take away time and space a little bit quicker. I want to see them have good sticks. I want to see them be in good position so that they can limit the amount of chances the Avs get.
Last night, was it Minnesota's pressure, forecheck, attack, whatever you want to describe it as, that created those blunders defensively and the turnovers in the Oilers zone that we saw, or was it more so Edmonton with brain farts?
I would say a little of both. It was like a little column A and a little column B, because there was times in the defensive zone where we were watching that game, and it just looked like the Oilers weren't being proactive to what they were doing. They were sitting back and they were letting those plays happen, and they were staying in front of guys. But a lot of times what you have to do in the defensive zone is you're anticipating what that next play is so that you can now close space.
Right.
And you can take away time, and you can have good sticks and be, positionally sound so you don't get beat. And I thought that the Oilers too much just said, okay, we're going to play in front of you. We're going to let you do your thing. There's going to be some chances, but we're not going to try to give up grade A chances. And what did they do? They gave up grade A chances.
Yeah, they did. They really did. All night long.
Yeah. So it was a little bit of both for me, but I need to see them better defensively.
Nanso, anything on that? Better defensively?
Yeah, no, I mean, Pickard kind of stole that one. He made about 5-6 brilliant saves, and that's because the Oilers were poor defensively. Listen, I like that he's in the lineup tonight because he gets around the ice a lot quicker than Josh Brown, and you're going to need that against this team. So, again, I still think, guys, we're going to see a lot of the top four, and when I say the top four, it's Kulak with Nurse tonight. I think Emberson and Stetcher are going to be around that anywhere from 10 to 14 minutes, and the top four are going to play a ton tonight.
All right.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Okay. Yep. Although Emberson's been getting a lot of minutes late in games protecting leads. Have you guys noticed that?
Yeah.
So we'll see. But I'm you know what, Nanso, I agree with you on that one. Go with the guys that have been around and doing it for a long time, especially against a team like the Avs, who can be very dangerous offensively. All right, point number one was better defensively. We go to the other end of the rink. Yep. Point number two on game changers, Belsey, get on the forecheck.
Yes, the Avs, they have good defensemen, but one of the easiest ways to mitigate their ability to skate and get pucks out is by getting on the forecheck. You got to be physical. Make them hear footsteps. And if you can do that, because the Oilers, when they actually are playing their best, they're actually a decent forechecking team.
Mm-hmm.
They turn over pucks quickly. There's some guys that finish from time to time. So the Oilers need to do that because you want to put pressure on the Avs defense.
Right.
Their forwards they're high octane. I know that there's some injuries, but they're a high octane group. So what are the weaknesses that you possibly have? And I think for the Avs, it is their D, despite the fact that they have Taves and they got McCarr. They've got some pretty good players. But Manson's prone to turnovers if you force him. Girard's prone to turnovers if you force him. DeHaan, Middleton, same type of thing. So get on the forecheck, be quick, have good sticks to create those turnovers, and then get back on the offense as quickly as you can.
Do you think that, whoever's game planning for the Oilers, whether it's Chris Knobloch or if it's Glenn Gulletson, they're saying, hey, if you're on the ice with DeHaan and Middleton, make them hear footsteps. I'm singling that pair out because the other four guys, I know DeHaan's been around the league for a while, but the other four guys have been top-level D-men. Taves, McCarr, Girard, Manson, and they're highly regarded for the most part. But then you look at DeHaan and Middleton, you're like, oh, who's Calvin Middleton? And then you go, oh, yeah, Calvin DeHaan's been around. Well, would there be a focus on trying to get to those two?
Yeah, but those two are probably not going to play as much.
Right.
I think, your speed game is going to be a problem for Manson. And maybe it's, hearing footstep might be the wrong words for it. I just think get on them, take away their time. Don't allow them to make those plays and put them under pressure so that they're rushing plays, because that's usually when they turn over pucks. And I would say that for most defensemen, that's probably the best strategy.
Right.
Because a lot of people can't deal with pressure, and that's when they turn over pucks. And obviously I say that knowing full well you've got McCarr sitting on the other side. But he's got to have a tough night.
It's Keaton Middleton, by the way. I said Calvin, my apologies. He's 6'6", 240 pounds.
Well, go wide.
He's played 20 career games.
Go wide.
Go wide. All right. That was point number 2 on Game Changers. Game Changers is always brought to you by Damon Bunting. And now with the agency. All right. Sean Bell in for Matt Cassian. Point number 1 on Game Changers tonight was better defensively. Point number 2, you just heard it. Get on the forecheck. Point number 3, stay resilient. What do you mean, Belsey?
Yeah, it's one of those situations that you saw yesterday where they didn't play their best. There was moments in time where they were stuck in their zone. They had bobbled pucks. They weren't sharp. They bent, but they didn't break. And a team that's kind of, on the hunt for a Stanley Cup or has Stanley Cup aspirations, you have to consistently be resilient. You have to be able to put things away and move on and try to find that A game or find ways to win. And right now, I feel like the Oilers in the last 12, 15 games, they've been resilient at times.
Yeah.
And those mistakes that happen, it doesn't matter. They kind of shake those things off and then they go. And against a team like Colorado, that Colorado is going to get theirs at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Don't fold to that. Just keep going and find a way to get the win.
780-218-9999. I'm laughing at Big Uke. Says, damn it, Tommy, your lights are bright. Is Big Uke here?
He is. I saw him.
Oh, there's Big Uke.
DVD?
He's right there. DVD from NHL.com. Big Uke is here. Everyone's here. Get used to them. There he is. Big Uke, come show off that new hat. Come say hi. Look at Big Uke. Look at that. He's got the new orange and blue EST hat. Looking good, Big Uke. All right. Round of clicks for Big Uke. Norman, the Combine crew's right here, but Norm texted in with a couple of pictures. He says, idiots on the road tonight. Tell everyone to stay home if possible. Brutal. Go Oilers. Norm, drive safe, buddy, and we hope you're okay out there. And if you're close to BP Westgate, come on down. Join us. We're going to have a great crew. Lots of great giveaways here. That was Game Changers with Sean Bell. So better defensively. Get on the forecheck. Stay resilient. We'll see if the Oilers can stick to that script tonight, Belsey, and pick up another victory. Edmonton and Colorado getting together for the second of 3 meetings this season. The Oilers beat the Avs earlier this year. It was a 4-1 decision at Ball Arena on November 30th. That was Stu Skinner versus Alexander Georgiev. You heard Meghan Angley from Guerrilla Sports earlier saying that Mackenzie Blackwood and Scott Wedgwood have been huge game changers for the Avs. So now they have reliable goaltending, and they're reaping the rewards of that. Nat, so you got something for us? We're going to jump in there. I can kind of hear you there.
No, not really. Just hearing this wind, boys, it's getting kind of scary here in the office. Feels like something's going to come through the roof here with the wind. It's pretty crazy here right now, guys. There's some weird noises from the wind.
Inside that nondescript industrial building built in the late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah, man. It's kind of scary to go down there, man, but I need some food. So, I'm a little concerned. But
you're going to be okay.
Shouldn't be too bad.
Lock it up. Come on down. Boston Pizza Westgate. Drive safely. It's only a couple minutes away. Yeah, what?
I guess I'll ask you guys this. Is this Colorado team the best test for the Oilers? I was talking to Joaquin about it because of the talent that both teams have. You have the 2 superstars on each team up front. You have the all-world defenseman in Cale Makar. You got an absolute stud with the Oilers, who's Matthias Ekholm, a little bit older, but he's an absolute rock. Is this the team that you would, if you look around the league, that you say this is the best test for the Edmonton Oilers, or is there another team you guys think gives them that?
I would say if they were healthy, it'd be definitely an upper echelon test. I'm thinking Dallas, thinking the Jets, and I'm probably thinking Vegas.
100%.
Would be probably some of the tougher tests for the Oilers.
For me, it's straight up Vegas.
Yeah.
Really?
Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about. I feel like the Oilers have had some good games against the Jets, but it seems like they always come out on top, at least as of late.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but.
Well, when it comes to the Avalanche, like, listen, to me, they're not the same Avalanche team. Obviously, we talked a lot about the injuries, especially today affecting the Avalanche. They still have, again, we're going to watch 4 of the top 5 scorers in the league tonight in this game, which is unbelievable. But with the Avs, I was going through the order stats against the Avalanche in recent years. I was going through the full history since Colorado landed the team from Quebec. I didn't count the Nordiques years. So Edmonton, all-time against the Avalanche, that goes back to 95, 96, 54, 56, 16, and 6 ties. All-time at Denver, 26, 32, and 7 with 2 ties, not including the Colorado Rockies, obviously, who became the New Jersey Devils. The Oilers have won 3 of the last 5 games against the Avalanche, but then on the road at Colorado, it hasn't been as fruitful. Where are the Oilers? I think the Avs have won. The Avs in general have won 3 of the last 6 games that they've played. So it's been just 2 wins in the last 7 visits for the Oilers to Colorado. So it has been tough sledding for them. And there was that time, and I think, that win in Minnesota, yesterday we were talking about the curse. You said break the curse.
Yep.
In Game Changers yesterday on the pregame show. I think it was kind of like that too whenever they would go to Denver. And I think the 2 wins in the last 7 visits is an indicator of that. They did get a win recently in Denver, obviously, this season. So I think that's a good thing. That kind of helps with the mental hurdle. The Oilers got a win against the Golden Knights. I think that was a big mental hurdle.
Yep.
So they're winning these games against these teams like you just asked about, Hernan, like the big tests.
Yeah.
And they're beating these teams. And I think that those are good for the overall team mentality and psyche. And I think that's important. To me, that stuff factors in.
Yep. But, I mean, if you look at the Jets against the Oilers, they're 24, 25, 1-3 lifetime.
That includes the Atlanta years, though, right?
Exactly. So, I mean, that's a 500. What you just mentioned, basically 500.
All time against Colorado.
I think against Vegas, they're 11-11-3. So it's I would say those are the upper echelon teams. And the other one that we obviously left out is the Florida Panthers, and they just seem to have a bit of the number right now. But I mean, it's
all those years where the East and West, like one division wouldn't play the other. It really skewed those numbers.
Yeah,
which is too bad. And I don't like that scheduling where they emphasized divisional rivals and they had 8 games a year against divisional opponents. That was just way too much. And I like that they've dropped it down to 4. And in some cases 3, but anyway, it's interesting. I just looking at the histories and going in, trying to win games in certain buildings, which has been tough.
Yep.
Maybe they can exercise some more demons and do it for a second time this season against the Colorado Avalanche.
Coyote Steve actually makes a really good point. The Oilers have more trouble getting up for bottom teams. That's actually true.
Good point, Steve.
Very true.
Absolutely. Okay, let's get to some text as we wind things down. Oilers and Avs tonight. Conroe, Texas says, Big Uke looked exactly how I thought he would.
Handsome?
He's a big Uke.
Yeah.
Blue hat, orange lettering,
ruggedly handsome.
red facial hair.
Yeah, he's ruggedly handsome, her dad says.
He was in today at the studios, too. He came to pick up some stuff. So
were you in studio today? What'd you pick up? Some merch. Oh, okay. Good man. Good man. What else? I had just left. Oh, okay. Well, here we are together. It's beautiful. Here we are. All right. Big shout out to Big Uke and the Combine crew. DVD is here. Lieutenant Eric. I see a bunch more regulars that are here. It's going to be good. We're going to have a great time. Good mix of younger and older. Good crowd here for a night of squall.
For a squally night?
A squally night. We're making up terms. I like it.
Well,
very good.
It's solid. It rolls off the tongue well.
You've coined a new term. Now, are you going to be able? Do you need a Red Bull? Do I need to get your Red Bull?
I don't.
Right. He says he's tired. We got a nap station for you over there.
In my belly.
You're fueled up. All right. Jeffy Texan says MacKinnon is in the mid 100s in the league in 5-on-5 goals. He's been a power play and empty net goal merchant this year. Far from the MVP season. Some are claiming play the game and 5-on-5 as the Oilers, and you have a great chance to win. The Wolf has one for you. Says, hey, Belzy, I was at Sherwood Heights outdoor rink the other day, and a bunch of the Sherwood Park Cedar kids were there, and those kids, they definitely made me feel old, but it was so nice being able to actually cycle with some kids.
Did you dominate them? Because if you didn't, that's not good.
Hey, Tommy.
Yes, what do you got?
Just on that Nathan MacKinnon, he has 70 points on the season, 50 at even strength, 20 on the power play.
I'd say he's having a very strong even strength season.
So the notion that he's a power play and empty net, maybe empty net, sure, but not power play, because he's got 50 of his 70 points have come away from the power play. So
I'm glad you looked into that. Thank you, Manso, for doing that.
And realistically, they don't ask how, they ask how many.
Yeah, McDavid at 62 points. Good point, Belzy. And Draisaitl currently at 65. Really quickly, the lines for the Oilers tonight, a bit of a tweak up front and on the back end. So McDavid between Nugent-Hopkins and Hyman. Draisaitl between Podkolzin and Arvidsson. Henrique centering Matthias Janmark and Connor Brown. Noah Philp between Jeff Skinner and Corey Perry. On defense, Matthias Ekholm with Evan Bouchard. Darnell Nurse with Troy Stetcher, who's back in the lineup for Josh Brown. Brett Kulak paired up with Ty Emerson. And for the Colorado Avalanche tonight, you've got Nathan MacKinnon centering Arturi Lehkonen and Jonathan Drouin. Mikko Rantanen between Joel Kiviranta and Logan O'Connor. Parker Kelly between Ross Colton and Juuso Parssinen. Casey Middlestat centering the fourth line with Yuri Inola and Jason Paulin. On defense, Devon Taves with Cale Makar, Samuel Girard with Josh Manson, Calvin DeHaan paired up with Keaton Middleton. In goal tonight for the Oilers, it is going to be 26-year-old Stu Skinner coming off a shutout win on Monday. He is 17-9-3 with a .268 goals against average, a .902 save percentage, 2 shutouts in 29 games this season. Skinner versus the Avs, 3-1-2, .256 GAA, .929 save percentage in 6 appearances versus Colorado. And then at the other end of the rink, you heard Meghan Angley talking about him earlier. He's been a game changer for the Avalanche this year since being traded from the Sharks. 28-year-old Mackenzie Blackwood, 15-11-4, .249 goals against average, .920 save percentage, 1 shutout in 31 games, 2-0-1 record versus the Oilers, .333 goals against average, .898 save percentage in 4 appearances versus Edmonton. Final thoughts from you, Hernan, and then Belzy.
Jeffy came back and said he was talking about goals, not points. So 15 goals, 12 at even strength, guys. So he only has 3 power play goals. Again, yeah. So, no, looking forward to this game, guys. Going to head down there to see you. Hopefully can get through this wind. And
the squally.
Yep.
The squall. And, enjoy the first 2 periods there and come back for the third. But excited for the game, boys.
Excellent. Belzy?
I'm looking forward to it. A lot of firepower in this game. I'm hoping that the Oilers come out, handle their business, get a win, and come back to the squally.
No, I got to go to Vancouver first.
Come to the squally first, then go to Vancouver.
Okay, great stuff as always. Big thank you to Meghan Angley from Guerrilla Sports in Denver, giving us the scoop on the Avalanche. That's going to do it for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. For Sean Bell and the Latino Heat, Hernan Salas, I'm Tom Gazzola saying ciao for now.